What is one place that you absolutely should be looking if you are looking for inspiration, whether you're working on an application, writing essays for your application or secondaries, or whether you're preparing for Casper, MMI, or some other interview format? I'll tell you in just a second, but first, why should you listen to me? Well, my name's Dr. Sarah Cleve, and I'm an admissions expert at BeMo Academic Consulting, where I work with students every day on those exact kinds of projects and help them think through ways to articulate their narrative, present their best self, and demonstrate that they're a good fit for the institution to which they are applying. So that one place that you should look that not a lot of students think to look is at the statement of mission, vision, and values of the institution to which you are applying. Every university and most institutions have or has a statement of mission, oftentimes also a statement of vision and values. Sometimes these are all together, sometimes they're separated out, but it is really a remarkable place to understand the institutional values of the place where you are trying to become a student or continue your education, and a good way to see what they're actually looking for in applicants. If they're looking for someone who is a good fit, well, what does that mean? That means that they want someone whose mission, vision, and values align with their own. After all, one day when you finish your education, their diploma is going to be on your wall, their name is going to be following you around. So they want to make sure that you're going to be a good representative of their institution. So I'll give you an example. I went to the University of Toronto, and the University of Toronto's mission statement, particularly their statement on the purpose of the university, is really fascinating to me. So I'll read a little bit of it to you, and I'll talk just for a minute about how something like this might be useful to you. So in their statement on the purpose of the university, they say the following: within the unique university context, the most crucial of all human rights are the rights of freedom, freedom of speech, academic freedom, and freedom of research. And we affirm that these rights are meaningless unless they entail the right to raise deeply disturbing questions and provocative challenges to the cherished beliefs of society at large and of the university itself. The first time I read this, I was actually in grad school at U of T. I'd been a part of the institution for a little while, but I'd never read its mission statement. And now that seems like such an odd thing to me, that we would align ourselves with these institutions, organizations, and not know what values they represent. And so I frequently recommend to students at every stage of the admissions process, look at their mission statement. Because what does this say to me? This says that ideally, institutions don't always live up to our expectations or even their own ideals, but ideally, this would be an institution that values trenchant critical thought, that values discourse around ethical challenges and things like that. And regardless of what discipline you're going into, those kinds of ethical challenges are things to which we must all contribute through our dialogue with one another and through our practices as professionals. I was just doing a really great interview prep with a student where we came across this new idea of precision medicine, which is to say medicine that is customized at the individual genetic level. So drawing on all kinds of genetic research to see if we can provide treatment specific to that person's genetic code. And there are all sorts of ethical tensions and ramifications around that. And I might not have thought to even consider that if I hadn't looked at the organization or the institution's mission statement to see what kinds of research they value and prioritize. That led me down a little bit of a link rabbit hole where I ended up with this, which is this new initiative of this particular organization. So it can be really fruitful if you even have just writer's block. I know that application season isn't here yet, but you should be thinking towards it if you're thinking in that direction. So if you find yourself with writer's block as you're doing your initial personal essays or something like that, check out your institution, your school's mission statement. See if there's anything that sparks your interest or gives you the creative bug so that you can write a little bit more. If nothing else, even if you don't get inspired to write something by it, your search won't be fruitless because you will know the mission, vision, and values of that institution, and therefore you'll know the mission, vision, and values of your own that you need to really highlight, draw on, explain, and make accessible to the admissions committee because they want you to be a good fit. And what does that mean? That doesn't just mean that you got a good GPA, that you've done well on admissions tests, that you've performed scholastically in any number of different ways. You're probably already doing those things. But good fit, that speaks to your core, right? That speaks to who you are as a person on a fundamental level. And so to be able to consider their language and their values and translate them back to the institution through your own narrative, that's how you show you're a good fit. So I hope that you enjoyed this short video. If you did, please go ahead and like it, share it with a friend who might benefit from it, and feel free to comment with any questions you might have. Shortly after this live session is over, I'll ensure the video is accessible for those purposes. And if you'd like us to help you, please click the link that should appear either above or below this video to schedule a free consultation, and we'll set you up with one of our admissions experts to answer any questions you might have and to get you started on your preparations. We have many different programs to suit your needs, and we're happy to work with you to determine which plan will support you most effectively. Thank you so very much for your time. Take care, and I'll see you next time.